The purple is the input basically, and we're just waiting for it to get to the output. Hello, and welcome back to Astro Music and Tutorials. Big news. Soundtoys has just dropped one of the best, if not the best, reverb plugin of all time. Spaceblender by Soundtoys is a spatial reverb that is visually and sonically stunning. Now, by the time this video drops, it'll be like May 9th or 10th, and the plugin is free until only May 22nd. So that gives you a little less than 2 weeks to go and claim it. I think that's ample time for you to just get your butts over to Soundtoys and just claim it ASAP without even thinking. This plugin is a no-brainer. So let's get on with the video and I'll show you exactly why you need this plugin, for reasons other than the fact that it's free. So here it is, the Spaceblender. Like I said, visually stunning. Right off the bat, you can notice that they have a big visualizer for you to actually visualize the sound as it goes through the processing and all the reverbs. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I'm no stranger to Soundtoys. I have a few plugins by Soundtoys that I regularly use. There's the Crystallizer, which is another subtle reverb plugin which I use on my pianos. The Effect Rack, I don't use this plugin as much as I do with the Crystallizer, but it is still possibly the best effects plugin ever. There's Echo Boy, which is one of the best delay plugins out there. The things you can do with that delay plugin is unparalleled. No other delay plugin that I've seen has come close to what you can do with Echo Boy. And then there's the Radiator, which I love to use on my drums and my bass. It's a saturator basically. Putting all that aside, this plugin, another gem by Soundtoys, is absolutely free for a limited time. Of course, they provide you with some amazing presets: ambient, swell, decay, reverse, gated. Now, before we get into the presets, let's just do a visual breakdown of this plugin. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, we have a big visualizer bar right in front of you, which showcases how the sound is being processed. So I have my piano plugin loaded up. It's the Organic Piano. The link to this plugin will be in the description. Use the code ASTRO20 for a 20% discount. Let me just show you what the default preset sounds like with the piano sound. I hope you noticed everything that was going on in the visualizer. And that was just a default preset, mind you, just a default. Now, if you notice this little blip over here, this is a very cool feature. You can click on the visualizer and drag it up and down. See this? If you lower it down, the processing becomes compressed to one particular place, and you can move that place to wherever you want. So if I keep it in the beginning, and if I play something, the reverb will happen in the beginning and it's going to fade off slowly. Now, if I take this and drag it all the way back, the opposite will happen. I can just see myself making custom-made risers, ambient risers with this thing. So good. If you take the same blip and raise it up, the whole thing becomes processed. If you notice on the right side over here, there's a freeze button. This is really cool. So this is how you use it. I'm just going to play a chord, hold down a chord basically, and click the freeze. So that particular place where I clicked freeze, that part of the processing, that part of the reverb will get looped again and again. So yeah, we have a time knob, a color, texture, mod, and mix. If you can see the left corner of the visualizer, you can see the time. And the time knob controls the time.
Well, duh.
If we put it all the way down, it's 100 milliseconds. I think it's milliseconds. That's milliseconds, right? Almost has a phaser effect. If we put it all the way up to the max, so right now it's 60,000 milliseconds. That's 1 minute. So you can delay the reverb for a full minute. I don't know why you would need to do that, because it takes a long time, especially in a situation like this where the reverb is at the end. It's going to take a while to get there. And in case I haven't mentioned before, now that I have a lot of time to explain it, this little purple color, that is the piano sound, by the way. The purple is the input, basically, and we're just waiting for it to get to the output.
A few moments later.
I don't even know why I showed you guys that. Next to the time knob, you have the color knob, which is basically the EQ of the reverb. So the more you move this to the right side, the reverb will take on a much higher frequency texture. And if I move it to the left, it's going to have a lower frequency. Then you have your texture. This is basically how dense the sound is, how dense the reverb is. Now, the cool thing about this is that changing the texture knob drastically changes the visual representation of the reverb. Look at this. If I move it to the left, it becomes very thin. If I move it all the way to the right, look how thick it becomes. And then you have your mod. From what I've come to understand, it's like a chorus plugin. For example, with it completely off. And with it completely on. And then finally, you have your mix knob. There's this very cool thing that this particular mix knob of this particular plugin has, and I'll show you. Say you want to go through the presets, but you want the mix knob to stay at a particular place. For example, I want the mix knob right there, and I want to go through all the presets with only that much of reverb applied. So what you can do is press Control, Alt, and then click. I have locked the mix knob at that particular degree, 28.5. So only 28.5 reverb will be applied on all the presets. See, if I just keep changing through it, the mix knob does not change. That is a very cool feature. Yeah, I did a little bit of research, by the way. I know. So if you want to unlock it, just press Control, Alt, and click again. There. And now if you change it, you can see that the mix knob is changing. Now for warp and sync, you're going to have to consult another video because I didn't dig too much into that. I didn't feel the need to. I'm a preset user. I am a self-proclaimed proud preset user. I was just excited to go through all these presets because that's what I want. So that is Spaceblender. Now for the fun part. Now I'm going to make an ambient track from scratch, and I'm going to make sure each sound that I use will have Spaceblender on it. Whether if it's 5% or 100%, this plugin is going on all the sounds. So I wanted to do things a little different. Instead of having a piano to make the chord progression, I'm using an acoustic guitar. The Vinyl Guitar 2, which is also a free plugin. The best free acoustic guitar plugin in my opinion. This is what it sounds like without the reverb. It also has a ton of presets, but I'm not going to get into that. So in the ambient folder, there's an ambient 1 preset. Looks like this and sounds like this. So it's a very subtle yet atmospheric reverb. So I'm just going to make a small chord progression and let's continue this. Very simple chord progression, just a 5-bar chord progression. I'm going to load in another acoustic guitar plugin, and I'm going to add a little bit of a, it's not going to be a lead. I just want to complement the chord progression a little bit. I think this one's subtle enough. I'll go with this, Mod Drips. It's just supposed to add some texture, nothing more. I think I might need some piano chords. Now, instead of arpeggiating, I'm just gonna drag it so it's a chord.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I'm gonna increase the attack slightly so that it becomes a pad on its own. I think that's perfect. The flavors of the piano are still there, but it's just not as hard as it was before. So I want to add a reverse, something reverse. I'm also very tempted to add a delay, a slight delay to the guitar. It's better. Always have to go and ruin it. Every time I make something nice, I just have to go and improvise at the end and just ruin it. Hey guys, I need to finish this song ASAP because my CPU is basically burning up. Everything is lagging. This is all I'm gonna make for now because my potato laptop just can't process any more Spaceblenders. But let me just do a bit of light mixing, add a couple more things. After all that, this is what it's gonna sound like. But that was the full extent of Spaceblender. Absolutely blended my PC at the end there. But all in all, an absolute S tier plugin that they have dropped for free. I know it's only for a limited time. By the time you see this video, you're gonna have a little bit less than 2 weeks left, so go and get it ASAP. I'll leave a link in the description. Anyway, I absolutely love this plugin. I can't wait to play around with it more. Now, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.